Hello there. What I'm going to talk about on this short video is an Excel spreadsheet that you can use kind of like a product matrix. A lot of times people ask me the question of how do they know what to charge on the front end, the back end, continuity, how are they going to make money, how can they spend money on advertising and get the money back. Well, this is something that I've done every time I look to do a project. This is something I do with companies that I work with as a consultant. If I want to go in and analyze their funnel and maybe set up a new funnel, how we're going to do that is very simple. I'm going to go through this and you'll probably be able to pick it up without even me doing that. But I just want to kind of explain the rationale behind this. And if you're good with Excel, you might be able to even update some of the numbers if I missed something along the line. So let's take a look at this first one. This is a product with continuity, product flow. And so it's got a tripwire of $7. That's the front end. It's got an OTO number 1 with a price tag of 27. It's got an OTO one-time offer of 97 and an OTO number 3 at 47. And then to be determined if you wanted to add another one. So this is essentially somebody comes in and they buy. And then this is the upsell flow right here. So what I base this on is 500 orders, 10,000 visitors, price is $7, a 5% conversion rate. So that could be higher or lower depending upon the actual product that you're dealing with. So there's your revenue number. There's a CM per order. CM is called contribution margin. That's really a number after some of the expenses are taken out. This could be a situation like ClickBank where they're taking out $1 and a percentage. And then I've got a cost per click here, generally speaking. Could be a different type of model for the media, but I'm using a cost per click because most things can be looked at from cost per click no matter what you're doing. So the media spend is $5,000. Your front end revenue on $7 is $29.36. So you've got a deficit. You've got a delta of 2,063. Your LTV, which is lifetime value, is 587 on that front end. As you go through the upsells with these conversion rates, and again, these conversion rates could be lower, could be higher, but you can modify everything. So you could change this conversion rate to 2%. You could change this one to 15%. You could change this one to, let's say, 10%. And that would give, or you learn how to type numbers, right? So you could do 10% there and come up with a totally different matrix. And that'll give you the number on your front end with the upsells, what the lifetime value is per customer, which means every customer that comes in the funnel. So if you have 200 orders, acquisitions, they're each worth $26 on the front end with this particular scenario. I saved it at the higher one. And then what I've got is continuity. This could be an optional continuity or it could be forced continuity. This is set up as a forced continuity, which means they get the tripwire for $7. They're automatically signed up for an 8-week boot camp. It's at $37. So there's 2 monthly recurring. The revenue is $74 if they take it to the entire level. Obviously, you probably want to figure out the contribution margin for that because it's probably a little lower. I put a cancellation rate at 65%, but I actually put the number of 50% here. So if we did use 65%, actually we would want to use 35% if we were doing that. Your net revenue would be $25.90. I put some costs in here. Now, this is one of the things you can use for your cost structure is whatever your costs might be, taking into consideration people that are working for you, so on and so forth. So with this structure, the way we've got this set up, you've got a lifetime value on the back end of $23. You've got a lifetime value on the front end of $26 for a total lifetime value of $49. So what this allows you to be able to do is to predict, put together an analysis, a hypothesis, an assumption based on these numbers here of what the funnel will yield. And so that's really what we're looking to do here with something like this. Now, in the next one, it's just modified slightly differently, different products. This is a hard copy tripwire at $9.95. So the costs are going to be almost about the CM is going to be about the same because there's a different cost structure. But on this one, this had a continuity of 11 months. Actually, it was a 30-day free trial. So you buy the hard copy book, you get a 30-day free trial to the Inner Circle for free, and then you get put into continuity 11 months at $47. So there's 11 months recurring. You get a revenue of $517. That's the total possibility on the continuity. You got a cancellation of 65%. You're left with 35%. Your net revenue is $180. Some costs. This cost might be higher, so you may need to fill in those cost numbers. If you've got support staff running your membership, so on and so forth. And then, so the LTV on the back end is pretty high. It's $175 because of this structure, even at a 35% retention rate. It's very good. Your LTV on the front end is 32, and so you got a total lifetime value of $207. And again, what the lifetime value predicts is every person that orders this 700 orders on the front end. Obviously, it's a high conversion rate, 7%. Probably wouldn't be that high, but you never know. You're going to let's make it more reasonable. Let's say 3%. You're getting 300 acquisitions. You'll notice everything changes when I change this to 300. All the numbers change. So that's the way the formula is set up. But even at 300 acquisitions, every acquisition is worth $207. And it's going to yield you this much in contribution margin, CM, revenue. You can work the numbers yourself. Now, the next one, I call this the big flow. And because what I set this up is that if you've had many different options. So if you go through this is pretty much the same. This side, however, I have a couple different offers. So I have a base offer, which is 36 months at $47. Okay, most people wouldn't have a membership that large. I happen to have one. That gives you your net revenue, even at a large cancellation rate, 85%. And then I've also got it at if somebody were to pay up front. So instead of doing the months, they were to pay it up front. This was for an offer that I'm offering. And then this one is if somebody were to actually just buy another product. And so you feed all these products in here into the back end of the front end. And again, this one might be more complex than what you need. However, this is a great chart to be able to make some real good assumptions. So many times people come to me and say, I've got a budget of X. What should the product be? Why would we offer a $7 versus a $47? So what you could do is, let's say the conversion rate on the 7 is, we'll say 4%. And let's say the conversion rate on a 47 is 1%. So look at that number. It's 2340. Actually 400 acquisitions. Let's put 47 in there at 1%. Okay, you're going to see a drastic difference in the revenue. And that might make more sense to go with something like that, even if the conversion rate's a lot lower. So again, it all comes down to that. Now, the other thing that comes down to it is how many acquisitions do you want to have? Because obviously with $7, right, at 4%, you have more acquisitions. So you have more possibilities of getting people into the funnel. Of course, that's why you have a tripwire or a low-priced offer, is to get more acquisitions, more buyer leads, so on and so forth. So it's something that you can work with and decide, what direction you want to go with. And I think it's really a great way to structure your baseline hypothesis and assumptions when you're setting up a new product. It's probably not perfect. I'm not the greatest Excel guy, but I've done this with companies and it's worked out. But it's a good guideline to set you a framework for what you want to do, how you want to do it. You can always add so many more, particular aspects to it. But this is the basic aspect which most businesses would understand. The biggest thing, again, being the costs and putting them into the matrix here. The CM would be after some of the costs. these would be additional costs over here. So you can kind of feed those in there. I don't know the cost structure of every business, but it's been great talking to you, and have a fantastic day. So long.